Hello writers, and happy Valentine's Day. Today we're going to go over one of my most favorite topics of all time, loving your writing. I wrote about it in May 2016, which is still my favorite post to date. You can check it out as a sequel to this one. But instead of some ways to love your writing, today I'm going to share why I love to write, because it's healthy to remind yourself why you do what you do. It keeps you focused and helps you stay dedicated to your work. And at the bottom of this post there will be 2 reasons why you too should love your writing. The point of my list is to inspire your own, so you can finish your novel or screenplay ASAP. Let's get started. 7 reasons I love to write. Number 1, because I can create anything in my wildest imagination. This is why I write fantasy as a means of relaxing, or even as a comfort when I'm feeling low. Suspension of disbelief is how fiction is possible. Suspension of disbelief, otherwise, quote, sacrifice of logic and realism for the sake of enjoyment, end quote, enables readers to leave behind what they've learned from the real world to lose themselves in a work of pure fiction. This is how you can watch Star Wars without saying, that's impossible, there's no such thing as the Force. Because suspension of disbelief exists, I as the writer have the freedom to put to page whatever my mind conjures, and someone can read it without thinking it unusual. A marvelous concept, isn't it? Number 2, because the words are a comfort. When I'm feeling unwell, I write. It's so natural I didn't even notice my unconscious habit till recently. But I'm careful to write something separate from my main project, or else it just creates more stress and problems. I'll look up some writing or character prompts and make up a story from there. It's even more relaxing on paper. They're rarely finished, but so helpful for when I need to chill. Number 3, because I want to leave my mark on the world. I don't know what the world will know of me in 100 years. I intend to write many books and manuscripts in my lifetime, but how much of an impact will they make? Will I be a best-selling classic, a local hero, or a name passed through the family? Only God knows, which is quite a comfort. The way I see it, the more stories I write, and the more I improve with each one, the better I'll be remembered for my dedication. And if it's just my husband, children, grandchildren, and etc. who are proud of me and know who I am, it's enough. I'm so thrilled for my future family to read all the projects on which I will have worked so hard. That is the ultimate motivation for me. Number 4, because I love to inspire others. This is why I blog specifically. I absolutely adore the idea of inspiring even just one person to follow his or her passion, writing or otherwise. And this is one of the biggest reasons why I write. Namely, I want to inspire young writers out there. I'm fairly young myself, which I'm slow to admit, I'll confess, but I think this gives me a particular advantage at this point in my life. Young writers will look at my books, my blog, my business, and everything I'm building every day, and they'll say to themselves, hey, if she can do it, maybe I can too. All the feats of my young life are or will be on paper, so they're not going anywhere. Perhaps the older I grow, and the more I accomplish, the more I'll inspire others. That's the hope, writers. Number 5, because I can use it to learn about topics that interest me. About 2 years ago, I got very into the World War II era. I wanted to learn more, but there was only so much interesting information I could retain from books and Wikipedia pages. I took it a step further and used my findings to write a novel called What I Wish I Said But Never Did. That novel later became The Girl Who Frosts the Cakes. Not only do I love that project dearly, but I learned so much about that time and culture in the process. Now I can spit out all sorts of miscellaneous facts about that era, like the price of a loaf of bread, or when and why women's trousers became the thing in America, or the value of $1 in 1940 versus 1945. It's wild to think that this novel, which I've been rewriting and cutting and shaping with care for what feels like forever, just started with simple curiosity. I can't wait to see what my next big interest is. Number 6, because I can use it to express my loves, opinions, and beliefs. I love many things. Vanilla cake, coffee, weddings, skirts, curly hair, close-knit friendships, bookshops, the smell of old paper, small businesses, and red lipstick are just a few of my earthly loves, and all of them are deliberately featured in my novel. What about my opinions and beliefs? I'm careful to weave those into my writing too. As a Christian, I firmly believe that Jesus is King, and I strive to live in a way that pleases Him. I very badly want this to be clear in all my writing, even in fiction. And finally, number 7, I'm simply in love with the words. I open up a book and I feel at home. I love to wander through secondhand bookstores, running my fingers over the cracked and worn spine covers. Whenever I hear or read words I like, I write them down as a reminder to use them more. As a kid, I would beg for a spelling test. I even love how inconsistent our grammar rules are, how nothing makes sense. And I love how English is just beautiful nonsense. In the English language, we only have 26 letters, but those 26 letters make up over 171,476 words. How amazing is that? Think about it, all those unique words. And now imagine how many different words are in other languages, including words we can't even begin to comprehend in English. Language is a mind-boggling miracle, and I'm in love with all of it. And here's 2 simple reasons why you should love your writing too. Firstly, you're more likely to stick to your project. You wouldn't put all that work into a project if you didn't like it. Unless you write purely for money, in which case I seriously doubt you make it through this whole article to this point. Case in point. If you love to write, you're more likely to stick with and finish your novel, screenplay, etc. How exciting is that? And lastly, our final point of the evening. It shows in your writing. Believe it or not, you can tell when a writer doesn't like his or her writing. It's hard to describe, really. The best way I can think to explain is, you can tell when someone has put love, dedication, and care into their work. In the reverse, it's also apparent when someone doesn't. Loving your writing is so important. You don't love to write, why do you do it? I suggest keeping your very own Why I Love to Write list. Tape it to your bathroom mirror or on the shelf with your favorite cereal bowl, and update it often because we're always changing, which is a good thing. This will keep you from getting discouraged and thereby will make you more productive in your writing. I hope you enjoyed this special post. Don't forget to check out my older post, 5 Little Ways to Love Your Writing. Be sure to check out my Facebook at glassauthor or my Twitter at glass_author. Happy writing.